Watch IT programs feature leading experts who provide comprehensive understanding and perspectives on technology trends, issues, and their business value. Knowledge, advice, best practices. You get all this and more from Watch IT. This program is part of Straight Talk, straightforward explanations of key technologies and their business value.
Cloud computing has become one of today's most talked about technology trends. Experts tell us that the cloud computing model offers organizations a significant advantage, a means to provide improved computing services while lowering costs. In this report, we'll present advice and make recommendations that will help you evaluate cloud computing and to assess the potential impact its implementation could have on your enterprise. Hello, I'm Michael Quinlan, and welcome to this Watch IT Straight Talk program, Cloud Computing Insights. This program features Don Norbeck, Director of Product Development for SunGard Availability Services. Don is an expert in the issues today's CIOs and IT managers are facing relating to information availability, compliance, and operational risk. There are several teaching points in this program. First, we'll define the emerging computing paradigm known as cloud computing. Next, we'll consider the challenges faced by early adopters and how long it will take for cloud to go mainstream. Then, we'll look at the role of service providers and learn what criteria should be used when selecting one for your organization. We'll also learn how to get your organization started with cloud computing. And finally, a look at what the future may hold, along with added recommendations and advice for those considering implementing cloud computing in their organization. If you are viewing this program via the internet or on CD, you will have access to the program transcript, a glossary of terms, key documents, links to related websites, recommended books, and articles. In our first segment, we'll define the emerging computing paradigm known as cloud computing. Cloud computing is a topic that dominates popular IT websites and publications. Cloud has moved on to the IT scene with real momentum, with the promise of cost savings and improved IT services. But for every article written about cloud, there seems to be a different definition of exactly what it is. We asked our expert Don Norbeck of SunGard Availability Services to define cloud computing from his perspective and discuss why the time may be right for this emerging computing paradigm.
Well, I think cloud computing is aptly named and ill-described. So it's aptly named because it is amorphous. A cloud has many definitions, many different shapes, and so does cloud computing. If I were to define it, I would look at it as the capability of having automated, orchestrated IT that is focused on the business processes that it supports rather than on the IT infrastructure that it provides the capabilities and capacities. That shift is a critical distinction in cloud computing. Cloud computing is a term that has a long evolutionary tail. It is not something that has just emerged, sprung full form into our consciousness. It is something that has its roots in utility computing, grid computing, client-server computing, ASP, all these terms that we have used over the last 20 years to describe the promise of IT. What makes cloud computing a little bit different from those is that it has built on all of those trends before to provide three key capabilities. The first one being that it enables a portability between inside an organization to outside an organization. It breaks down the walls that many of our IT organizations have built around their critical data and systems. By enabling that portability, it allows a company to transform the actual business process to take advantage of the IT underneath it. Finally, it is really geared towards availability, both availability for when good things happen, growth, and availability to avoid when bad things happen from an uptime and a protection perspective. What makes the emergence of cloud computing important at this point in time and gives it its legs is a confluence of events. We're certainly in a time where IT spending is a little bit more critical. Companies are looking to move from capital intensive expenditures to more operationally intensive expenditures to even out those stepped investments. So cloud computing is offering opportunities now for companies to skinny up and optimize their business processes and their IT infrastructures underneath and position themselves to take advantage of the growth when we all bounce off the bottom and start recovering economically.